Well, hello everyone. It's been a while, hasn't it? I want to talk about a few things. Number one, why I haven't been uploading, and number two, why I chose this video. So number one, let's start with the first reason. School just started for me, and I'm gonna prioritize that way more over a video game. Number two, the second reason is because I still feel like it was kind of wrong to just say, oh yeah, I'll be uploading more, and then completely ditch everyone. So I chose this to do. I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, and I've been keeping count. This took me over, and I'm being serious, this took me over 3 hours to complete. And if you hear anything in the background, that's me getting really mad because I have been at this for 3 hours nonstop, and I was literally getting so pissed. You hear that cracking in the background? That's my controller. That was me literally trying to split the thing apart. I was that mad. And the reason why I was so mad is, number one, doing this challenge on console, that I don't wish that pain on anyone. Number two, it's Trickster, and I don't care what y'all say that, oh, you need to get better with his aim, or you just need to be like a little bit more concise with how you play. No, this killer is absolutely horrible, and I'm really hoping that they just rework him, because I have an opinion that most people share as well. You can't buff him without making him extremely overpowered, and you can't nerf him without making him old Freddy. He's just in this literal hell because his power is so poorly designed. But yeah, enough about me malding. Let's get into this commentary. You can hear me malding in the background as well. You can hear me in the background saying, as soon as I put on better perks, I'm gonna start getting 12-year-olds. And that's true. As soon as like I'm doing Adepts, I get like the sweatiest people on the market. Now you can see this Nia using borrowed time, and she wants me to hit her, but I'm not going to because this Nancy matters way more as a hit. Now what Nia tries to do, she tries to spend time healing him, but I think she forgets that I have time to waste with my knives. So I get an easy down off that and waste her borrowed time. Then I pick up the Nancy and I put her on the hook that Nia was on. Nice slap on there. I pick up Nia. I think she might have DS, but she doesn't, which is really good for me. Now Nia is on second hook, and we will not see a lot of her until later into the video. So what I do is I go over here, put her on the hook. Now this is really good for me because now I have two types of pressure. However, that two types of pressure kind of leaves a little quickly because Zarina goes for the save for Nancy. However, I go for Nancy first because I know that she's going to be trying something. Now Zarina goes in for a save, and what I do is I use my knives because that will actually make it a lot easier for me. And she just stands still, and I get a free down, and I don't know why she stood still. I think she thought I would start missing more, but I didn't. As you can see in the bottom corner, I have 3 no way out stacks, and this is actually going to come in really useful later. So I get my knives, and I move on. Now there's a Steve in this game, and I know that he is probably nearby considering that I didn't see him. And I want to keep in mind that we are only 3 minutes into the game and there are already 3 gens done. That's really bad. Now, as I told you, Steve was around the area, so what I do is I first want to injure him with my knives, because that way I can use my main event. So I get the injure off, and instead of going to the pallet, which would be the smarter idea because I can't see him, he runs over here, and I use my main event and get a free down. I end it because there's no point used to get any longer. No one else is in the area. I pick him up and I bring him to the closest hook. Now I want y'all to think of something that I'm doing wrong, and I'll give you a bit of time. Wait. Hold on a minute. Y'all see that? What? I'm gonna stop my commentary recording because what just happened there? Did I just teleport? And we're back. I want to keep in mind to y'all that I did. So, as you can see, collect my knives, and I move on with my merry day. So, one thing I want to keep in mind with y'all is the mistake I made was that I didn't check around the area first because I had Starstruck, and I probably could have zoned out. But everyone was injured, and that's why I didn't do it. So what I do is I injure Nancy, get her on the ground, and I have a lag spike. I thought that Zarina used for the people on her, but in reality, nope, she's still on the ground. Steve tries to get for a flashlight blind, and 3, 2, 1. He just disconnects. I don't know. Like, I literally don't know. And I just teleported there. And I have not cut this clip yet. This is just completely raw. What happened? Anyway, I scope it out, try and see if there's anyone. Now, I think I saw the Nia on this gen, but that's just corn. So, I move on with my day. And there goes my crowd control. And that's actually going to become a detriment later, because I'm going to have a few survivors kind of screw me over in the end game. Now, these two come over here. I get 2 hits on the Nia from here. Now, this is what I meant when I said Nia won't come in until later in the game. And what I do is I keep throwing knives to try and distract her. I think like half my knives just disappear. She gets a pallet stun on me, tries to flashlight blind me. I turn away, and what she does, and this is her mistake, is that she spends too much time blinding me and lets me get the down, and now this is where things start turning good for me. I am able to freely get my knives back, and I can go back to Nia and put her up on the hook. And she made a really bad mistake because she was on death hook and I was in the building. And I know that she's probably going to have borrowed. I didn't check in the end game, but I think she might have. So, there goes her, and now there's only 2 people left. You have your Nancy and the Zarina. Now, these two were probably the stars of this match, and for good reason, too. These two knew what they were doing when it came to looping against me. Now, that doesn't take that much because Trickster is Trickster, and as I said in the beginning of the video, I freaking hate this killer, and he's absolutely horrible. So what I started doing is I started breaking pallets, that way I have more narrow corridors to work with, and they won't be able to screw me over when I am doing other things, such as losing all my knives. And I kick the pallet, and I move on, and I try and look for someone here because I feel like there might be a dude here. So I check the locker, and there's no one in there. So I move on. Now what I think is going to happen here, or at least what I thought was going to happen here, was someone was going to be on that far gen, but there was no one. Now what I like about this corner of the map is that I forced a 3-gen because they thought that, actually they had to, they could see right here, I can scope out both sides. Now, Zarina comes over here, I think it's, nope, it's the Nancy. Now Nancy comes over here, and little did I know she actually had sprint burst. Now this is what I mean when I say Nancy is a really good looper. She does a really good job at changing direction, she does a good job at pre-dropping this pallet. We're not going to talk about my Trickster aim. As I said, don't play this killer. We're not going to talk about the fact you're going to see that I have him level 50. But, yeah. Wait a little bit. I missed all of those. You can hear me mauling saying, I feel like these things just go through them. I don't... that's what I was about to ask. What did I hit? It wasn't the Nancy, that's for sure. I missed all of those. I feel like it's funny hearing me mauled because I gain in such a high pitch. I get really high pitch when I'm angry. And this is why I get really mad, because she just freaking jabates me in the highest amount, and that I was about to literally cry. It's funny hearing me mauled. It's funny hearing any 13-year-old mauled, but yeah. Now I miss a bunch of my knives. I hit a barrel. I do that. I would have gotten the injury there. However, that actually scares her away from the pallet, so that works in my favor. There's nothing here except that loop, but I do get the hit here. Do my nice bat twirl. Have a nice little lag spike, because Dead by Daylight console still hasn't been fixed until the Pinhead update. By the way, when Pinhead comes out, we are going to be doing a, I think it's September 7th. I think that's going to be a Saturday. So I will be trying my best to do maybe a 4-hour live stream playing Pinhead, trying to learn him, because he does look really cool. Speaking on Pinhead, maybe buff him. He's kind of weak. He's very creative, and I actually really appreciate that. He's really fun, but just buff him because he is very, very underpowered. I don't think he's like Trickster levels of underpowered, but he's like Myers level because his power doesn't really help in chases. But anyway, moving on. I get really lucky because she gets down in the basement area, and that gives me a chance to actually hit both of them later on when they come up the stairs. So I move on with my life, and I do my little hum. Yeah, whatever. Freaking aesthetically, this killer is amazing. His power-wise. Anyway, I notice that this gate is 99, and I know that that probably means that the Nancy is here. I think I see scratch marks on those hay bales, and I definitely know, and I see her, and she just went to the basement. Now, the thing here is that they don't have borrowed time, and it's really confusing why she would do that. So what I want to do is I want to injure Nancy first. Now she has to run out that doorway. I get the down on Zarina, and Nancy is moving over to this gate, and I don't know, I don't think that main event cancels scratch marks, but I have no clue because I couldn't find her. I don't know. If someone in the comments can clarify whether or not Trickster can see scratch marks in his main event. I don't think you can, but anyway, she gets the res, and what they do is they make the biggest mistake of their lives. So I hit all three. Now I know that they're probably gonna reach. Yep. And she tries to go in, but I'm still here. And this is where they made the biggest mistake. They grouped up way too close. Now what I do is I go for Nancy first, because if Zarina has DS, then I'm gonna get screwed. So I pick her up, and what I want to do is I wanted to bring her all the way over there, but Zarina was already walking over there anyway. So I put Nancy up there, and I think Zarina might have DS, so I pick her up, and I literally say, if you have DS, I'm gonna cry, which she doesn't, and we go over to the hook, and we bada bing, bada boom. And now this is the end result, and let's hear me say what I want to say. Okay, 3, 2, 1. If I'm not done with this challenge, I swear I'm gonna throw my controller on the floor. There's literal tears on the floor right now. Please, game, just please. Oh, yes! Yes! Let's go! Ooh! My hands, they are shaking. My knees, they are quaking. My balls, they are swaking. What the hell?